Hello and welcome back to Brandon's podcast, The Journey or Walk to Freedom. We are still moving with George Samuel Clason's 1874 book, The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a good book. That's why it's the one I have decided to start with in my revising with you, my viewer, on my takeaways from the books, different books I have read or will be reading. So far, so well. I believe you are being blessed from this. And of course, all we are sharing is useless if not put to use, if not put to work. That's why we begin at the point that men of action are favored by the goddess of good luck. Of course, we talked about good luck as being that for those who are prepared. But those who are prepared because they are action oriented. Action oriented. Many times we make plans, and many times those plans don't come to fruition, not because the plans were not in place, but because action or energy to act wasn't there. So it is action that makes us prepared. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step that is taken. If that step is not taken, you are not likely to take that journey. So let us always remember that good luck or luck is there, but it's for those who are prepared, but it is men of action. If all I am doing is reading about the richest man in Babylon, might not be helpful if I don't put that into action. Likewise, if all you are doing is listen to every video you see on YouTube and put no action to it, you will have a problem. So I am on my journey, you are on your journey, but that journey is going to be faster or quicker with action. In the book of The Richest Man in Babylon, we are presented with 5 laws of gold or money. Law number 1 says, gold comes gladly in increasing quantity to any man who will save at least 10% of his earnings. If you and I do not have any discipline to put something aside, then this discussion may not be for us, or we might be wasting time. But law number 1 of gold, he presents to us that at least of all you earn, 10% should be put aside. He has not said at most, at least. Because there are many stories in that book, The Richest Man in Babylon, that show us that this is possible. Men who became slaves, lost their own wives, lost all their riches, but were able to come back just from putting aside 10%, paying their loans, and what have you. But it is very much possible. You have heard, or I have also known, that the US president now had a debt of $1 billion. He is no longer in that debt. He was able to come back, of course, with such discipline, at least 10%. You can be able to put 20% aside, 30%, depending on where you are, but at least 10% should be put aside. Number 2, God labors diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. We said, of course, already in the previous video that the gold should multiply. Your money should not just be saved, growing at 1% interest return. That is not really growth. You know, inflation is way higher than that. So ensure that where you're putting your money, it is able to grow at a rate higher than even 5. So at least there may be, your money is growing, not just 1%, 2%, 3%, like banks do. Your money or gold should multiply. Number 3, gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. Oh, I remember the story Akkad told us in that book written by George Clason. When he was starting to learn about money, his mentor told him, you must put aside at least 10%. After telling him a part of all you earn is yours to keep, he told him at least 10% should be put aside. So the gentleman humbly did so because he was really intention about getting rich. At the end of the year, when he had saved the 10%, he gave it to a brickmaker to buy jewels. When the mentor came back to ask him, where did you put the money? He told him, I gave it to a brickmaker to buy jewels. He asked him, how or what does a brickmaker know about jewels? The issue here is in whatever thing you are investing, do you have knowledge of what you are investing in? So ensure that where you are putting your money to multiply or to grow, you know how it is going to grow. Your heart is secure because you know what you're investing your money in. You have heard that crypto has come, you put. This one has come, you put. This one, you put. Ensure you only invest in what you know. Kiyosaki advises us to also develop the skill of having us grow or use our money to grow instead of handing it over to others. So all in all, your money or gold should multiply, but we are advised not to invest it in things we don't know about. Even when they look very nice, let's first invest in us knowing financial literacy. Number 4 says, gold slippeth away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or are not approved by those skilled in its keep. Okay, the previous one was talking about men. The people we ask, who are you consulting? Who are you getting your advice from? You want to marry, where are you getting your marriage advice from? You want to grow your money, are you going to a pastor? Are you going to a medical doctor? Are you going to an accountant? So depending on your purpose, ensure who you ask is one skilled in that. Now this one tells us that we should be having knowledge of what we're investing in, or if you don't have the knowledge, get the advice from those who are skilled in that particular area. Well, you may not be able to get every knowledge in this world, but at least can you have a circle of people who you can easily trust and consult in case of this? Yes, so let's know that we are not too smart beyond ourselves. So there are people around us who can help us. There are people who can help us in every area of life. There are people helping me be able to reach to you where you are. There are people helping me be able to grow. There are people helping me to grow financially, spiritually, different people. There are people who I meet, when I meet, we talk church. There are those who, when we meet, we talk sports. Different people, depending on your goal in life, have different people who are skilled in those particular areas to consult. Don't ask a brickmaker to help you on how gold can be gotten. They have never mined. They have never sold gold. So it matters who you ask for your personal development. Last law is gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters or schemes, or who trusts in his own inexperience and romantic desires in investments. This is just cementing the previous rules of people, even us who have invested in things we don't know, because you feel you have a great desire of this thing. It's not working for you, but I must do. I must do it, I must do it, it must come out. Sometimes those who have focused on that get a breakthrough in that line, but many have failed to analyze their situation. Of course, analysis also has its issues. The writer of the book, Nice Girls Don't Get Rich, says something about, she lists 75 reasons as to why the nice girls don't get rich. One of them is analysis paralysis. The possibility of you getting lost in paralysis. If I invest this, this will happen, this will happen, this is not likely to happen, this is not. So in the long run, you don't invest in that particular thing. Why? Not because you don't know, but you have been lost in analyzing. So that could be the side effect of an over-analysis. But we need to know, we need to analyze, and that helps us not to be schemed or have our money stolen. We shall end with at least 3 more takeaways. One is, we cannot afford to be without adequate protection. Like we said in the previous episode, that Babylon had a wall around it. Our investments must have a wall. Our emotions must have a wall. Our spiritual life must have a wall around it. Not everything you hear or see has got to enter directly on your heart. There should be a wall around you. Next is, better a little caution than a great regret. So instead of just entering any investment, let's take caution from those who are skilled. And finally, where the determination is, the way can be found. Our success or failure is dependent heavily on our levels of determination. In Think and Grow Rich, he elaborates this more, but we need to know that where we are determined, we cannot fail. Like we started in the first episode, where you exert your efforts is where you are likely to. So if, as long as you are determined, you reach your goal. Look at the story of the ark. Many people did not make it to the ark, but the snail made it. Whereas the lion made it to the ark, the elephants made it to the ark. They are fast. Cheetahs made it there. Some people made it there. Even the snail made it. Where you are determined, really, you will reach. Thank you. See you in the next episode.